Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Turtle Club podcast. And today we are doing the set review of the newest set that's coming out, Legend of the Dragon Balls. So, all of the cards have now been released for the sets. So, we're going to be reviewing every leader and every card from there, as usual, and seeing how they compare to everything else. So, today I'm your host, Dylan, and I am here with Angel,
Hello.
Bobby,
Hey guys.
Carl,
Good evening.
and Sam. All right, so we'll just get right into it with the pre-release first, actually. So we will be going into the six-star ball, Awakens in the Oceanus Shenron with the new Unison as well. It does actually seem like one of the better pre-release leaders we've gotten in a while. I know, Angel, you've actually dabbled with Shadow Dragons a lot, so you want to tell us how good this leader might be?
Might be better than the original. Well, it will be better than the original Sin, I think.
I see what you did there.
I didn't mean that at all. That was unintentional. But yeah, I think it allows, unless they ban or errata some things, it's got some pretty degenerate plays you can do. Playing from drop's pretty nasty. I mean, there's some limitations that we can get into, but yeah, I'm excited. If anyone else has got thoughts first.
Well, it plays from Warp, actually, right?
Yeah. Well, it's recursion. You warp the guys with your leader effect too. It's got like an activate battle to gain 10k for a battle. So you have to get out of an attack maybe and set up your warp. But there is like I said, I think it's 6 life awaken, so like there's no unison awaken or anything like that. So you can get held. It's a little unfortunate since you kind of got to start doing the effects as soon as possible, otherwise you're behind. It feels like if you do it the way that it naturally wants you to do it, you're probably not doing stuff till turn 3-4. But if you force it or like set yourself up with some other cards, maybe with like what's that card called? Surmounting, right? That's the Vegeta that lets you take life.
Yep.
Leader Z charges, so you can like start doing that turn 1 and like force yourself awaken, I guess. Although that would very heavily telegraph what you're trying to do. But yeah, the sooner you can start playing the Shadow Dragons from drop, and getting that recursion going, the better. There's a couple old cards that are broken.
Yeah,
the
best combo people have been seeing is the old 4-cost Nova that plays out any Ice Shenron from deck or drop. So
Yeah, that's the dumb card.
with its skills,
Yeah.
the new 8-drop Ice they can play. Seems like a really strong combo for one.
Yeah, it sets
Yeah,
up
man.
some other new cards that are coming out too, the Busted Gogeta and whatnot as well. Pretty easy.
Yeah, probably one of the better yellow decks that's come out recently with all the banless hits with the cooler and whatnot. So, I mean, you still got U7. I feel like they'll probably hit something in U7 with the banless coming up, or maybe a rat or something. So this will probably be like top 2 deck, I guess, yellow decks. So it'll definitely be a good deck to play.
And it seems like this Z Unison is mostly for the old Sin leader to help awaken earlier. So do you think this is like a shoe-in for the deck? It's really good for there?
You definitely need it in the Z deck. I mean, the fact that you won't get held anymore is pretty nice.
Alright, so that's the pre-release Oceanus stuff. Seems pretty promising. We'll just see how good it does and with the ban list, if they hit anything preemptively. But for now, it's seeming like it's pretty promising. So we'll get into the actual sets itself now. So we have our first deck, which is the blue Gotenks deck. So this is a deck that centers around spamming a bunch of Z extras. So it's kind of similar to the King Cold, where you have a bunch of fields out. This is kind of similar. We have a bunch of blue Z extras in play, and they all have different effects when you have your Gotenkses. This seems like one of the weaker decks, honestly. A lot of the fusion pieces are like skillless cards they want you to play with, but the Z extras themselves are actually pretty strong. They have a lot of strong effects. It's just the actual Gotenks cards in the deck are pretty just whatever. It does have some cool stuff, but do you guys have any like strong opinions on this deck at all?
Seems bad to me.
Another bad blue Gotenks deck.
Yeah, that's true. Forgot about the other.
That's the blue Janemba gimmick, right?
It's similar. The Blue Janemba gimmick is cheaper. This one's like they come out for free with your Union Fusion targets, but it's like they kind of split the effect of what they want you to do across 2 cards, which is like, I mean, what's the point? Like now you're just making me take Z deck space to do something that maybe this should just do on its own. You know what I mean? And it's not like having a Z extra and blue out is all that important. It doesn't really do anything for you, so there's not I don't know, it just doesn't have a lot going for it. They could have done better.
It sucks too because the Union Fusion stuff's fun to play. You know, like pitching the 2, drawing to replace them. You know, getting your searches and stuff. Could have been a cool blue contender, but
Yeah, the Go tanks just needed to be stronger. That's all. The actual boss monsters and whatnot, but it was. I mean, I guess it was close to. It's a good idea. They just yeah, closer than Veku. That doesn't draw as much though. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, Dylan? You're the Go tanks guy.
Yeah, I mean, the deck seems fun to play, at least. It's not going to be particularly that great, I don't think. If it had some synergy with like the green Go Tank stuff, maybe you can make a cool blue-green variant, but a lot of it's pretty restricted to blue only, so that's kind of unfortunate there. But I feel like if they give us support, it could be good later on, but we'll have to see with that. It's probably one of the weaker decks of the set, though, so not much really else to say there. So we'll just move on to the next deck, which seems a lot more promising, which is the blue Majin Buu deck. So we haven't gotten blue boost stuff in a while. So this is a lot of this can actually work with the old ones, but a lot of it also can't because they made sure that it does not. But it's a lot. It's like the focus around Z leaders, and having a lot of them in the Z deck, and really spamming them out, and you like spam out a bunch of little guys, a bunch of 4 costs that all gain effects for having Z leaders and stuff. Focuses a lot on comboing your opponent's board, which is kind of cool. So it's removal plus also aggro stuff. I know a lot of people have been talking about this deck being actually real. So do you guys have any opinions on this deck at all?
I think it's real.
I think so too.
It's got almost everything you want out of a blue deck. It just doesn't untap enough energy. It's a strong, aggressive mid-range deck, I think. And the Secret Raider's broken, but I think that might be better in other decks. I think Bursting Rage might be the move in this one to keep the pressure on.
And don't forget about the Z Innocent too.
Yeah, I mean that thing.
Majin Buu, yeah, the Buu Unison 2.0. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good for other decks more than this one, but yeah, it is good.
Yeah, but an overall generic card, it's pretty good. You don't have to bulk up in your deck. So just playing it from the Z deck is just crazy.
It's true. And also, for the Buu leader, that is very sequenced. Like if you don't, your opponent can set you up so that you can't have the most optimal plays, and then you miss out on a lot of what makes the deck strong, which is the leader untapping the whatever Buu that you play to get the most value. So you can get a Buu to swing like 3 times in one turn, one of your battle cards, if you sequence through your Z leaders decently. But like I said, they can kind of just negate you or do some weird stuff, and then you get shut out of your turns. But if you get it all off, it's pretty nice.
Do you think this barrier blocker Buu will be a staple in blue decks?
It comes out in anything, right?
Yes. As long as you have a blue Z card or Z leader.
Is there anything in blue that draws when you combo skillless? I feel like we already have it. They would already be abusing the 17-18 unison, right? I'm not sure. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, not that I can think of now. But
Maybe. I mean, barrier blocker is nice for one.
they can come on opponent's turn too, so that's something.
Yeah.
But,
You guys got anything? Yeah, I guess we could probably move on.
I don't know if now is the time, but the Deborah Unison is Z Unison's a huge help to Blue Bojack. It's like solves one of the deck's core problems, getting held real bad. You can awaken basically anytime, you're ramping, so you can awaken pretty quickly. But not many people like that deck, but it's a fun one. Helps the deck a lot.
Yeah, having it in the Z deck instead of in main is crazy.
And now you just have more than one copy because Boo's at 1, so pretty sweet.
But it's nasty.
yeah, it could be a telling sign that Buu Unison gets banned. So
Do you,
All right. Well, yeah, it seems like we have all. That's all we have to say about the blue blue deck. So we can probably move on now.
yeah, you move on.
All right. So we got. There actually is no black leader this set. So we actually just have a bunch of black cards for other decks they're supporting. Seems like it's really only one deck that got supported, plus just a random SR Demigra Unison. But the Z Unison is actually pretty good for black decks, especially for like Supreme Kai, which wants the wormhole and overwhelming multiple times, pretty nice. And the actual the black Vegito support, which is for the starter deck Vegito, not the Vegito Xeno, also very good. Free negate that counts both Goku and Vegeta. The 8-drop Kaioken Vegito Blue is very, very good. Gives you a barrier blocker that draws 2, sets up your Patara plays to activate main from hand, really, really good. And then the Mai, obviously, is really good for making the Z battle card Mai and Trunks way better. Do we have any strong opinions about these black cards?
The Vegito support, the starter Vegito support, I was told I need to go out and buy the starter decks now because I've never purchased them. But apparently it's pretty good with the new support. So that's good. And then the Demetra is a neat card to print because the old Demetra Unison had the restriction of a Saiyan only or God only. I think you couldn't play it in half-breed decks. So it'd be kind of interesting to see if there's any...
yeah, that's true.
Like if you could throw this in Vegex and then that unlocked something that we hadn't previously... we weren't previously able to explore with, so that'd be neat if that unlocks something, but yeah, I wish there was a leader.
True. Draw 3 with Awakened Instincts, though, or Awakened Power. What is it, Awakened Instincts, Bardock? The Overwhelm? It'll be draw 4, pitch 3. That's pretty cool. Set up drop and look at 4 cards.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I don't got a lot of thoughts on the black cards otherwise, though. I know the Vegito stuff is good for the deck, but I don't remember if what it does is all that powerful, you know?
Yeah, these cards definitely help, but I don't know if it'll make it high tier or anything. It might. These cards are a big help to the deck, so. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes along. But these cards are all very, very good. Probably stuff to pick up if you play black decks. Alright, so now we have our first 2 SCRs. So we have the blue Majin Buu, and we have the black 7 Goku. The 7 Goku is revolved around, obviously, the 7th anniversary. Because we are having 4 Secret Rares this set, and this is the one to celebrate the 7th anniversary. I actually did notice that's why he had all the 7s on him. Like warping 7 cards, drawing 7s because of the 7th anniversary. I don't know how I didn't realize that at first when I read that, but that's why. And then the Boo is for any blue deck actually works. And there's obviously people have found like ways to union absorb into this also. So are any of these like pickup cards that you would like to have in your decks? What do you guys think?
I would definitely pick up both of them. That's my thought.
Yeah, they're both kind of interesting. If you're gonna play the blue deck for sure, this is what you want. And I'm sure there's other applications. The Goku feels like a budget SCR almost. Like if you don't have anything, you can play this Goku.
It's probably gonna be one of the cheaper SCRs.
It'll help with certain stuff. Like getting to draw back up to 7 is useful, but I just don't know what decks are wanting to do that over play their current SCR, at least in the competitive realm.
That's
I
true.
don't know if Red Broly swap has been mentioned, but isn't that Goku a free play? And then
Correct.
it's just a pay 1 to warp. So I mean, maybe if you're in a situation where you're like pitching your whole hand to free play your guys, or you're comboing like to pressure, and then you can just, I don't know how much that will help the deck really, but maybe good. Let's see.
Does Broly swap generate Z energy efficiently?
No.
Because you need 3 or more Z to make it free, right?
No, it's just cards and drop, isn't it? Or is it 3Z?
That's energy and Z energy. You get 3
Yeah, it's so just 2 energy and 1 Z energy. Yeah.
If you have 3 or more energy and 3 or more Z energy.
You need
That's
both.
Tough. Yeah.
yeah. That's
Never mind.
Japan's still better in that sense. Then
Yep.
Yeah, it seems like just the Beast Gohan side. Like if you do a different kind of strategy, I guess, or seven
Second
seven
three on deck,
Gohan,
but
whatever the fuck. Yeah, whatever it's called. See, instead of Beast Gohan, maybe you can try drawing the 10 cards that turn.
it would just be a fun gimmick in that deck, though. I don't know. It could be really. It probably will be really good in that deck specifically, but it's like, how do you play it over Beast Gohan though?
Is that the
Yeah,
same?
Beast Gohan's just too stupid. Even drawing the 10 cards isn't as good as what that shit does.
Is that the same?
Yeah.
Is that the same contention with the Boo SCR also? Do you think you play it over Beast Gohan sometimes? What do you guys think about that one?
I mean, sometimes it's like, I don't know, like when I'm playing 3-hon specifically, there's sometimes when like, dang, I can't even really go into Beast Gohan yet, because like when your opponent knows how to play around it, it's kind of harder to play Beast Gohan, especially when you know when they know you're playing it. So with the gimmick of the deck, with like the Goku Black and all the dual attacks and whatnot, I think the drawing the 7 cards actually might be real nice, but who knows?
The Boo's pretty good. It's got really good synergy with Goku Black. So if you like combo off Goku Black, you can choose the indestructible skill, give it to or barrier if you pit combo a barrier guy. Give it to the Boo, leave it in active mode instead of doing the dual attack, and then every turn you're peeking in their hand and ripping 2 cards, which is pretty nice, especially if you can get rid of super combos. If you manage to find a few. So there's neat stuff.
People are saying
Also, you can give it a.
people are
you
saying
can
they have ways
you
to
can
unit absorb intro too, right?
Yeah, you can. It's a little wonky because you got to use some old, kind of overcosted cards. But yeah, you can union absorb into it. It's got good synergy with the Gohan Rayer. You swing the dual attack, combo the Gohan Rayer, give it the triple attack, and then the thing swings 4 times in one turn. It's pretty nice. 40k quad attack.
All right.
There's
So
stuff.
we got some pretty decent SCRs here, so we can probably move on from that. So now we're getting into probably the best deck in the set, which is going to be Red Skillets Kidku. So this deck seems pretty nuts. Free plays a bunch of Skilleses. Has a lot of both turn interactions where you get to draw cards. Constantly minus your opponent's board. Whenever you play any card with 30k power, which is pretty nuts. Has a lot of cheap plays. Does a lot. And Bunny Girl Bulma and the counterplay Chaozu just makes it to where kind of pushes it over the edge where you just have so much interaction to what your opponent can do to you. Because obviously leaving the 30ks out is pretty crazy. Like they have to deal with them, and if they deal with them, they get punished a lot of the time. So has a lot of strong things in it. It's gonna be quite strong. I don't know if it'll be tier 1, if it's better, it can be better than future Gohan and Trunks. I guess we'll see. But what do you guys think of the deck? I know you guys have been playing it a lot.
Robert? No thoughts, Robert?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was muted like an amateur. I think it's a strong deck. It just playing 30ks. We already know that's powerful. Hard to combo out of those. The interactions on with the leader drawing a card on both turns, and also the minus 15 effect when you play a 30k isn't once per turn, so you can deal some damage to their board too. It keeps a lower hand size than Gohanks, but this seems like the one people are most excited for, so we'll have to figure out how to deal with it.
The turn 2 available barrier removal is pretty disgusting. Granted, you got to tap out, but it's pretty
and that
dumb.
field card that they made, they tried to balance it by making it a go to 4 leader, but that the field or the Z extra card, I should say, where you get to go from 6 to 4 and then go back up, is super strong. Because like even when I'm playing Gohanks, there's turns where they hold you at 6 and you're not going to be able to floodgate with explosive dance until you get to 4 life. Whereas now with this deck, you go to 6 on turn 2, you play the Z card, you're down to 4, and now you can explosive dance, you can super combo,
while
and then
still
go back
being
to
at
6
life. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
still
really strong. So
I guess my question would be, is it going to be a contender without Bunny Girl Bulma? That would be my main thing.
I think
Obviously,
so,
it's
because when you play against people who know what they're doing, they're going to try and avoid removing your Earthling skill list to avoid getting the proc and drawing, but it'll still be good. I think even if Bunny Girl goes, it'll be better with Bunny Girl. It'll be probably insane, but it's still good without Bunny Girl.
I guess Violent Ray is going to make its way back.
Yeah, I think it might be worth it. Stop a lot of these 30k decks.
Now that you get to stop 2 decks, right? Vegito and that, and the we'll talk about it later, but there's a yellow
Yeah,
Gogeta deck that's coming out
Gogeta
that plays
deck
a
does
lot
have
of
this
30
stuff.
days.
Definitely want it for that.
Green decks play some crazy 30k.
They don't
We
go
all know
super
and love.
wide though.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
This one for sure, though, you would definitely cite it. It's too many 30Ks.
Yeah, it's like 3 a turn. It's fucking dumb.
This is definitely seeming like the best deck out of the set. If there's any deck you want to pick up, it's probably this one. So, has a lots of cheap plays. So it's very, very good. All right, move on to probably the one on the other side of the spectrum. The King Piccolo Wish Leader. This is probably the worst deck in the set, maybe. Its whole gimmick is playing these King Piccolo Egg Z cards, and then over like a couple turns they would play out these 15Ks. They don't do too much. There's not much synergy with the old ones either. So Angel, I know you know a lot about this deck, trying to cook some stuff up with it. So what do you think of it?
It's bad. I mean, just what it does, what they want you to do. You have to take up. So your whole Z deck is wasted already. You know, it's almost entirely has to be taken up by those stupid eggs just so you can play guys out. 15k spam means nothing anymore. We all know that also. And also you're telegraphing your plays like a turn ahead. It doesn't make any sense. The old KP deck gets buffs from all this stuff, but if they don't unban a solid amount of stuff, it really doesn't matter. So it's I don't know. It's cool that they made more red KP stuff that does synergize a little bit, but it's not enough. And the new leader, all it does is it draws a ton, but if you don't have a kill card, I mean, the power level of cards these days is just nuts.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like three 15Ks is lame.
I played against it on Untap one time, and I thought, wow, just like you were saying, the telegraph. I saw his eggs, 3 eggs with a dude under it, and I was like, okay, so he's gonna play 3 15Ks next turn. That's cool. And then it didn't matter at all. I think I used 1 Senzu Bean, and he
Yeah, exactly.
was, passed.
Against blue,
it was really bad.
worse, yeah.
But it didn't seem like it was anything. They have the free EX Evolve 25 Double Strike. That's kind of cool, but
That
gotta
guy's
pay
cool.
2 for the guy that comes before it. So
That's
Yeah.
the best card in the deck. The 3 cost that plays another 3 cost because he's a +3, I think. When you play
It's
him,
a fusion world card. Oh my god.
it's pretty nuts. He's strong, but he's
That's
better
all
than
it's
the
got.
other-
That's it right there.
Yeah, you draw a ton and then play some weenies and that's it. It's over.
And it really wants you to have this Z Unison now too, and it's not that great either.
So Unison does
I
free
think-
play guy, which is pretty nice.
They made you pay 1 for the searches for the Dragon Balls, right? That was another thing. I was like, oh, that's power
That's
creep
not
right there,
the
so-
worst, but yeah. I don't know. I think it's just to make it so that you can't. I don't know. I guess they just don't want you to set anything up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
makes sense.
I don't know.
It's also a wish leader that doesn't do anything with desire cards, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, that's super lame.
I don't know why they couldn't have just added that there instead of these terrible other extra cards that are here. Just give
If
us-
it's search for free, maybe you could spend the first couple turns just, like you said, setting things up or establishing your board a little more to make those free plays more meaningful. But yeah, it's just seems like a dead.
Is
Yeah,
this where we should talk about the support for the Vegeta deck from last set?
Yeah, we can if you want to.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Does
I
seem
guess
good
so.
to you?
Everyone plays
Red's
that deck, so we really gotta. I don't think I've ever seen that deck sleeved up once in my life.
Nah, it's not real.
Yeah, it's just
I also haven't heard anyone say these cards help either.
I know the big one is pretty nice. That's all I know though. It's not the family. It's just Vegeta and Trunks.
Just in time.
Yeah, that one's okay.
it probably helps that they count as both, like all the names as their a duo card, because I know the deck like needs you to have certain names underneath the field card, or as extra.
It wants to use your super combo, right, for one of the pieces, or
Yeah,
and that was one of the.
I mean the go on in Vidal's kind of decent. If you combo with skills negated, I think if you get the free 10k, but it's okay.
We'll see.
But, yeah.
Better than King Piccolo.
Yeah, it's probably one of the worst.
For
It's
sure.
probably the worst deck in the set by far. I guess now we can mention these new kind of super combos that every color got this set. Do we think this is the new staple for any deck, or do we still prefer the 4 life ones? These ones just require
Tough.
2 or more Z energy, but has the same effect as bottom deck 1 draw 2.
You don't always have 2 or more Z though at the end of the game
Yeah.
when you're.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was gonna say.
I noticed that as well. I thought
think
they
they
were going to
tried
be super broken, but they're not like the old Z Energy super combos where it also counts the cost on your Z battle cards and whatnot. Or if you have a Z battle or Z leader, I mean, it's not the same as those. It's more strict. So, yeah, you're right about that.
I don't know. I think they had.
Then.
Yeah, I think they had the gimmick in mind where there's going to be just all this Z energy stuff, but it's like, I don't know. They don't draw like the certain decks or whatever that you put one in your Z deck and you draw a card. You're not really replacing the card. You're just adding an effect. I mean, you're just adding a card into the Z, pretty much. So, and then you're pretty much using all the Z cards for your Z unisons. Like look at the Boo deck or look at Boo deck's just one of them, but stuff like that where you're just heavily going into unisons now. So it's like, are you really going to have that much that much Z cards? So
Red Citron,
Yeah.
love that card.
Yeah, that's probably what made them think that it was going to be busted. Is that
Yeah.
stuff like that used to be nuts, but it's not that huge.
Set
huge
18
deal.
when everything got a million Z energy for no reason.
Yeah, that first set of Z things.
Yeah.
that's just my opinion on it anyways. I just feel like they thought there was just going to be a lot of Z cards in the deck, so it'd be like, oh, why not? Let's just make this super combo, but nice early game, bad late game, like you're.
Yeah, unless you're a deck that sets up a lot of Z energy, it's probably not the greatest. You probably
They want you to set up a Z unison, a Z extra.
Yeah.
Usually, got to play a Z battle card too. Like we got to use the.
Yeah,
And I got to
resource
pay for
we use.
explosive dance and stuff out here for Z energy.
Yeah. So, all right, we will move on now to probably the star of the sets. Even though it's not the best deck, probably it's still probably like the most
Hype.
most hyped, most like creative deck they've made in a long time. So technically the yellow SS4 Gogeta leader, but it uses Successor, Alliance, Aegis, Revive, and Invoker all in one deck. And that does this by making it to where any GT multicolors can fulfill their color condition skills by just using any multicolored GT card. So it's pretty cool actually. Does a lot of really cool stuff. And I'm really interested to see if this will actually become tier 1 or not. It has a lot of good stuff going for it, but obviously since being a rainbow deck, it can be a little janky. So we'll have to see how that does. But it does have a lot of really insane stuff to go with it. So do you guys have any specific cards you want to talk about?
The Aegis guys are stupid, but if you can't, if Koitsukai doesn't go, I mean, just the Koitsukai shuts down the whole deck. Like the game plan is ruined as soon as one of those comes through. But if you're able to Aegis into 2 of them, you net 2 energy, get 2 guys on board. You have a Z unison that beans your leader and stuff. It's kind of cool.
SS4
And obviously
Gogeta
props
is
and stuff.
absurd. Successor for 1 doesn't make any sense. That just is a overtuned monster of a card. So
Yeah, that card is stupid. That is
Got one
correct.
combo.
I feel like they're
That's
gonna.
pretty
Yeah, I
good.
feel like they're gonna errata it some way maybe because there's just too many 8-cost cards where you can just sack it away.
Yeah, it is way too
especially
easy.
in green. Like especially in green. I don't know. I feel like they can. Like I was talking about it before, but I feel like a good errata would just be like you have to sack 2 or more cards at least. That way, it's like instead of just sacking 1 card because that's just kind of ridiculous for a 1 cost and what it does. Especially with like Turunga and all that stuff that just makes you discard so much. If that's the SDR you're trying to.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, this SS4 Gogeta for sure. Definitely seems like the star of the deck.
Like, more so than yellow.
Yeah, in
Like,
green it's so
It
easy.
just, yeah, I feel like they were making it more for yellow, but because of the sin with the sin core cards or whatever. But when you could just splash it in the green Gohan or even the Cell deck now, it's like wow, like what are you gonna do?
Yeah, just getting 3 cards ripped and 235 double strikes.
Yeah,
Tough. It's tough out here.
Yeah, it'll be even
and
crazier.
just also, sorry.
It'll be even crazier in this kind of deck too, where you're just already playing 8-drop 30Ks just for 1, like this offering guy.
Yeah,
And then playing
dude. Yeah,
playing that on top of it is so nuts.
the
For
Vegeta's really crazy. The Revive Vegeta. It's like a 30k dual attacker. It's nuts. And it gets to pop like if they token negate or something, you get to just remove that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they made it
I'm
so
excited
it really
to-
work in that deck. It's not really like generic, but it is really good in that deck.
Yeah, for the deck itself.
I'm also
It would be fun to experiment with blue versions of this deck, slow blue Aegis versions with beans and coercions and stuff. It'd be sweet. Play on your opponent's turn.
I'm also
Fun.
just kind of. I'm also just kind of afraid maybe that the decks just if people figure out how it might be all right for the first couple tournaments or whatever people play with it, but I think maybe after a while, after people start to figure it out, maybe the cards become kind of cloggy. I mean, if they play with the core cards, that's like intended to be. I mean, so
There's probably a list out there that someone's going to crack and
yeah.
it'll be good. But it doesn't seem like in initial testing people are losing their minds over it.
I think if you get it all off, it's good, but
I feel like it's gonna be one of them decks to be hard to get off. Yeah.
You also don't draw a lot, which is not good in this day and age.
I think that's like a lot of the leaders now. These new leaders that they're doing. It seems like a lot of them are just adding to Z energy and just drawing, not really plussing at all. So that's kind of, especially with all these other leaders from the past couple sets that are still meta right now.
Yeah, and it's also like a 4 life awaken too. There's like there's a lot of weird shit going on with it. That's pretty bad. Even though the effects are all strong. Cool leader though.
I commend them for trying, I guess.
Yeah, it's a very cool idea. There's like definitely a lot of different builds you can do with it too. Like you could probably do the invoker, doing the invoker build, where you just focus on that like ultra kill turn where you just set up, where they can't negate and do the alliance plays everything. It's probably builds like Carl was saying, where you can just play an opponent's turn, just really stall them out, play the Aegis guys, blue green, beans, stuff like that. So it'll be cool and interesting to see what kind of builds people come up with this deck. Cause like there's a lot of options. That's pretty cool about it. Probably the coolest deck they've ever really made in a while. So very, very good there. Alright, we'll move on to the other Shenron deck of the set. So it's the 4-star ball that awakens into a Nova Shenron. So it uses a lot of it's kind of like an EX Evolve deck where you just you play 4 costs and then they evolve into the big 8 costs and do stuff. Angel, I know you have been testing a lot with this deck too. So what are you thinking of it?
Testing is an exaggeration, but yeah, I've
in your brain, in your mind.
yeah.
Brainstormed about this.
This one draws the most out of the 3 Shadow Dragon decks, and the free combos and stuff are pretty nice. It just seems like another one where they want you to have your Z Unison, your Z Extra, your your Z battle card, like all kinds of stuff out all at once when that's not really. I mean, none of that stuff's gonna stick. We know none of that stuff sticks. So get your free draws from the Z Unison while you can, and let that go. It doesn't play the cards with their skills, so it's not. You can't do the degenerate Nova play that Oceanus can, but it's probably the best. It's definitely the best leader for the Nova SS4 Goku card. That's like a +2 because you put it under the Z battle card with the Unison, and then play it out on opponent's turn for 1, and then draw another card and get a body. So it's like a draw 2, play 1. It seems like if you just go in as hard as you can, as early as you can, this deck's cool. But it's not. It doesn't have the staying power the other ones do, unless you pivot, I guess. But
I mean, do you think it's either better or worse than Oceanus?
I think it's more. It's less flexible, but I think since you draw so much more, it might end up being better. Just that consistency. Because, like I said, Oceanus can get held. This leader can't get held. You're awakening. You're drawing all the cards you want on turn 2. It might be better. It might be worth just skipping on the other plays. You can still get out the old 8-cost Sin, turn 2 and do all that kind of stuff. So, also it like mills 7 of your cards out, so you can play with. If the deck space is too tight to really do this, but if you wanted to, you could play with a 43 card deck, which is cool.
Yeah, C or SCR. Easier.
Yeah. Anyone else have any opinions on it?
So one of these Shadow Dragon decks is going to take off. I don't know which one. Could be the old one. Could be the pre-release. But it seems like this one's the one most poised, just because it keeps its hand size the healthiest of all the different.
Well, I think the old Shenron leader is just going to be kind of nice with the SCR.
Yeah, that's if you can get there, yeah.
Yeah. But it's just the case of one of those things having to go exactly as you're supposed to be, so that might be kind of difficult, yeah. And yellow's already really hard as it is.
Plus the deck bursts a lot, so it's kind of I've milled my Secret Rare a fair share of times off of burst ones, so
Oh yeah, that's true too.
That'll probably happen.
This happened to you? No way.
You've watched it happen. Looked me in the eyes while it happened.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, this deck has so much. I mean, this archetype has so much support that it's someone's bound to find something to make it really good. And one of these leaders that has so much. So
they all do something crazy, which is nice.
Yeah, so I'm sure someone will figure something out. Maybe even Angel will be the one to do it. Who knows?
The other neat part, last thing, is that there's like almost 3 or 4 cores worth of stuff to play around with. So there's like a ton of different builds you can go with. You can pick 2 Shadow Dragons to kind of dedicate your deck space to, depending on what you want to do. So that's another neat thing, is like how flexible the archetype is. Not just like generic yellow stuff, but now you have like 3 generic Shadow Dragon leaders. So that's cool. Another neat thing they did.
I wish they would have made some interactivity with the red or black, like connected them somehow. We got a cool multicolor leader with the Gogeta. That would be neat to just in one too.
That would be nice to you able to use the red cards in something at least.
Yeah, because they're currently useless. Maybe the anniversary box will give us another.
Yeah, fake Sin.
Something. Yeah.
Maybe. All right, we'll move on to the other 2 SCRs now. So we have the red Goku, which is mostly just for the red Kiku deck, and then we have this really, really busted SS4 Gogeta for yellow decks. So especially the Gogeta seems pretty nuts. First ever card where we actually get to place energy markers from outside of the beginning of the game. It's just you get a temporary ramp for 4. That's quad strike. And then it removes the ignoring barrier, and then the Goku's like a activate battle triple strike on any for 30Ks. Since you are free playing 30Ks, obviously that's pretty good. So, yeah, what do you guys have any thoughts on either of these cards?
They're both dumb.
Yeah, I agree.
Gogeta's going to be fun to play with. Fun card to mess around with.
Oh yeah. That there's also the fact that you can kind of do You could also just tap 4, board wipe, and then stay alive a turn, like Nimbus a turn, and then next turn have like like 11 energy or something like that if you wanted to. It's another cool thing you can
Be
do.
crazy. I think it's going to be a really good SCR.
Board wipe is nice too. Sucks it's
Quad
got to
strike.
go, but I mean it is what it is. Quad
Sucks
strike.
it's gotta what?
It's got to kill itself to board wipe, so that can get interrupted by like certain effects. You can get petrified and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, yellow
Yellow too.
in the final flash. Yeah.
And
Luckily,
the
it looks like you're getting your markers no matter what, right?
unless you get cold bloodlusted. Make
No,
sure you.
it's on the activate main. It's not an auto.
It's
Yeah,
on the
you can
activate.
get it
main?
no matter
Oh,
what.
excellent.
Yeah,
Okay, good. Thank God.
That would suck to pay for. And that happens.
Oops.
No deflects, so
Imagine.
yeah, that would suck.
God, I guess Frost Deadly's poison is more relevant right now, but yeah, either way, that's good. And the Kidku being a red Seeker Rayer for non-Saiyan leaders is nice too. Like you're able to use it in non-Saiyans, so another tool. Although most non-Saiyan red decks aren't really bomb heavy like that.
Yeah, 3 is a lot to pay for, so you have to be free playing 30Ks to really make that worth it.
Dude, Bulma can throw that in.
Yeah,
No problem, dude.
there's a
Any
couple.
girl
I
still-
think 30Ks. Plus, I think it's on any. So you could just overwhelm Vegeta and swing.
The leader is any 30K. I don't know. I think that one might be red.
That one's red. Okay.
You can also just make your card 30K mid-battle and then use this too, so there is that.
Yeah, the Z extra will pump a card
Yeah.
if you wanted to.
It combos you can combo all your energy off too, so that's like a gigantic swing. Especially if you're like a multi-deck or something.
Yeah, it's
That could be cool.
A big all-in play.
I am impressed with their ability to print a card where, like, if you told me they're printing a red SCR and you toss 3, I'd be like, nope, that's out. Definitely not going to play that. And then this one comes out and it's like, yeah, that's worth 3 energy. Pretty good. Like, that's actually being activate battle to just win the game. Getting to dump all your energy. I mean, that's gonna suck losing to that. I don't look forward to that.
It's gonna suck getting Final Flash when you go all in.
Yeah, Yellow just can out it, but
yeah, you can't
keep the Z card on the field and they'll never get it off. But
they're tight though. These are like exciting secret rares. I don't think they made any that stink. The set,
Goku's not great.
no, but that's like
But it's not horrible either. So
cool collector piece, though. I guess is the premise, right?
I think so.
Especially with the God Bears this set, so. But if there is any secret rares you want to pick up, it's definitely probably the yellow and red ones. If you play those colors, obviously, but I'm sure everyone wants Gogeta because he's SS4 Gogeta. So, all right, we will now move on to the green decks. So we have Green Trunks, which is actually a red-green deck. So they're doing a lot of multicolor this set, which is cool. It's an arrival-based deck. It can get out free arrivals. It has a Zextra, which lets actually keep one of your Vegeta Trunkses in your combo area for the entire turn. So it helps you get the arrivals easier. So that's pretty cool. Have we thought of any cool plays or builds with this deck at all?
I haven't built anything yet, but I mean, there's cool stuff with the free dual attack. Well, it's not dual attack, but it activate battle, untap, spare your blocker trunks. So on your own turn, you could free arrival that, and then arrival Beerus, and it's like a 25k dual attack guy that you can get out turn two, which is pretty cool. And you can arrival the old arrival Secret Rayer for 1 less because it's a Vegeta multicolor. That's neat. And the permanent bean. Oh yeah, it's 25 because of the permanent bean card. But so that card stays in your combo area like for every battle, which is cool. So every one of your cards is buffed by that 5k that turn. It also draws a shitload, so there's promise.
Yeah, it seems like this could be real if it's played right. Some pretty good stuff in here, but we'll have to see. Obviously, the bean with the card staying in the combo area is very interesting. I don't think we've ever had an effect like that before. so that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's new.
I don't know if it'll be played a lot. We'll see. We'll see. It's good, neat red green support. If we don't have any other opinions on it, I guess we can just move on. I mean, we got this bad Vegito card for Trunks and Mai.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's pretty bad, yeah. Paying a 3 to Patara is really bad. Has a really mediocre effects for paying 3. That's a really bad effect. And then just adding the Vegito, other evolved Vegito from deck to hand's not the best. So, it's kind of
Dude, some decks they print these support cards like for the Cell Champ Pack card that just like fixes the entire deck right off the jump. And then they print
then
this
they
other
make-
support. It's like
Yeah.
you're just printing more bad cards we're not gonna play.
I guess isn't the idea is probably to set up the drop for the barrier Vegito that comes out for free because it plays it on top of itself, right? I don't even remember. Talking out my ass.
No, this one, yeah. I mean, they both Patara. The old one Pataras, and then this one also Pataras. So you gotta like choose which one you want to do. But this one's just way worse. So
Are you sure? Doesn't the old one turn into it? I'm pretty sure it turns into a Vegito from drop, like a bigger one.
no, I'm pretty sure Patara. The SR one Pataras, and then there's one that evolves for like 2 on top of it. But this one just also Pataras for 3.
Yeah, it does play it on top of itself.
Oh yeah. The pay 2, yeah. But
Yes.
yeah, it's not. It's pretty bad. Yeah, we'll see if this we'll see if this arrival deck is any good or not. We'll move on to the other green deck, which actually seems pretty real. It's green Bojack, so it focuses has like the Foo mechanic where you like set up cards on top of your Z deck, and you get a lot of certain effects through doing it. Likes to KO its own Bojack Brigade cards to get effects.
Brigade.
So it's a lot of cool stuff there. Do we have any opinions on this deck at all?
That's strong. It's very strong. It draws a lot. A lot of draw power. It sets up the Gogeta very easy. Cost 8 drop Bojack. Turns into like a double striker that just kills a unison, I'm pretty sure. Rips a marker for everyone that you send from Z deck to drop when it swings. See, that's another 35k, 2 double strikes. I think it's got some hand control stuff in there too. That there's the other big
Mode.
yeah.
They swing it, yeah. Without
If
and
anything
then
but
they're
leader.
non-leader, I think.
Yeah, non-leader, not once per turn, so they pitch for every swing.
It can protect
It just saves
itself too.
itself once. Yeah.
Saves itself one time, yeah. What else? There's some other stuff. Oh yeah, you can use the KP negate. You know, like it's pretty popular in Cell right now. And it's another deck that can abuse that.
Feels like it's gonna be a real deck. The cards are pretty good. It draws a bunch, and then you can play 8-drop bombs. Right? You can play the new successor card pretty easily.
Has a free negate and a free counterplay too, so that's pretty nice.
Yeah, the counterplay is really good for. It's like probably the only anti-floodgate card counterplay that you play. They take
Yeah.
life.
And well, you want to take life because you're S6, unless you're playing the new super combo, but it's hard, I
Nah.
think, to keep the Z energy up. So you want to go
This
down to 4.
one's this one's not super hard. Doesn't combo a lot.
And the Z Unison pointing out when you have Bojack Brigade cards in play, so it can actually could live early on because you get little guys out pretty easy, and you
Draws
get the counterplay and the negate, so you'll have them on the board. Yeah, they finally kill your board, and then you get to play that negate, and then they can't swing your Unison again until they clear that. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Activate battle on leader's cool.
Yeah, and your leader being dual attack is obviously very strong nowadays. With all the floodgates going around.
Yeah, I think it gains 10 as well, right?
Yeah, 10k and switch to active mode.
For that battle. Yeah, that's pretty nice. It's got a lot going on. It's probably the second best deck in the set, you think?
Yeah, with Gogeta being kind of like the wild card of.
With it being a
Hard to tell.
chance. Yeah.
Depends on how that deck is, but on paper, this one seems like it'll be the next big contender.
Seems solid, right?
For sure. Oh, that 4-cost Bojack too. That's like a dual attacker, and one of the swings is crit for 20K. That's pretty. That card's pretty nasty.
And the synergy you brought up with the 4-drop Goku from the last set, needing a card with blocker, and then one of the Bojack Brigade card 4-cost has blocker. That's pretty good. Pretty good interaction.
Yeah, that one's decent. After thinking about it, if you have the deck space, it's good, but the other Bojack just does it, so you kind of don't have to in the Goku. But the Goku does draw one while being
It's
out
nice
of
to have removal too.
Yeah.
Punish them when they get rid of it.
Other than the negate, is there ways to play Bojack Brigades on opponent's turn to get that draw?
Counterplay.
Yeah, they kind of play
that too, I guess, but
Yeah, those are your ways basically.
Is there anything else? Is there like an activate? No, because it's activate main on both on the Z extra, right?
Yeah, it's activate.
Yeah, both of those. Okay. There's no negate that like plays a 1-cost from your draw there. That would do it, but that's probably not worth trying to figure out a way. But
yeah, I mean, the negate and the counterplay replace themselves is still pretty good. If you take the life, you draw 2 cards. It's pretty nice.
eventually, and you get to pop it with leader effect if they don't remove it right away. So it's like an extra 10k combo power for battle power.
Yeah.
Kind of nice.
So it seems like it could be pretty real. I'm sure people will figure out how this deck will be performing, but it seems pretty nice. So, alright, we will now... That actually might... Oh no, we have TPs. Yeah, we have the campaign rares now. So
Yes, sir.
So we have a bunch of these Z Unisons. They're meant to be used in the anniversary deck coming in, but they're also generic and you can be used on anything. They all have a permanent where they can't attack and they gain Shenron in all areas because they're supposed to be used in the anniversary Goku deck. But some of them are pretty strong, some of them are pretty bad. But they all have a -7, which have all -7s are really crazy effects. It's because the anniversary leader ramps markers. Not once per turn, so that's how you can get these -7s with that leader. But I don't think you're going to get the -7 to any other leader. I don't think it's ever going to happen.
I mean, you could possibly get the +2 one with the Android 17, but... Or I guess, are they all +2?
No,
There's actually a couple of them were +2, so I mean, if you play it right, you could do it.
Yeah, the Kid Goku could potentially get it off.
Yeah. Is there any standout ones you guys want to mention?
Oolong, Kid Goku, Goku Frieza. The Goku Black one's very interesting. The take control of one of their cards. It doesn't switch it to active mode though, so it's kind of like a bootleg removal instead. But I mean, you could take boss monsters with that.
With the skills?
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, you keep it with the skills, and you give them a skillless card basically. I know that like a bunch of stuff turns on in yellow when an opponent has a skillless, but but none of it's like particularly good. I was trying to think of a way, because isn't there also some other old like Turles card where if your opponent specifically has a Gohan or some shit like that, you get effects. So you could potentially get weird shit like that off with this card. It's a neat effect.
The two I've been playing that I can speak on a little bit is just the Oolong and Cell is super strong. You know, early game, just getting a +1 pitch, and then obviously in other green decks too. But the Goku Frieza is pretty good in 21 because you don't really have a great turn 2 anymore. So this is pretty nice. You can keep an energy open, and you can run the searchable Android 18 counterplay. It's also a blocker, which is pretty good early game.
That is nice.
Yeah, and if it's a 20k unison at 3 markers, so if they don't kill it, you know, that's going to help 21 a lot, netting that energy every turn. So
yeah, the fact that you also don't have to like clog your deck with unisons just to play that counterplay too.
Yeah, but that was the problem. You weren't even able to play really a full unison 18 package before it takes 8 slots. You got about 12 flex slots in 21, so this is a huge, pretty nice piece for the Z deck, I think.
Yeah, now with the cancellation of that, the name of piece or whichever one it is, the 2-drop, it's just a nice swap out.
Kind of does the same thing. Kind of does the same thing with having the energy. I mean, it's obviously not the same broken thing, but
you just can't tap it. That's really the only difference.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
He's
Wish
really
they could
good, yeah.
swing. I don't know why they don't swing. Like maybe if only the 20Ks couldn't or something, but the 15Ks at least make them all +2. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's a couple that are a bit.
it's because they got Shenron, so they gotta make it to where it can't
Yeah.
attack. Like all the Shenron
But I
cards
mean,
can't attack. So that's what it's just a
so
a
you
theming
think the
thing.
new deck is gonna be? Is it gonna be a rainbow deck then? So it kind of has to be. So far, all they've shown is red stuff for the anti-box leader. That red one's nice though. That effect where they all go to 1 power, -7.
It's so crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, it's also a 20k +2 neg something by 20. That's pretty
very solid.
pretty
Yeah.
strong.
That one seems the most likely to survive with the +2 markers and being a 20K. I know the 17 does it too, but the -7 on that is actually like legitimately a bad effect.
Yeah.
You can't play battle cards for 2 turns after that. You get a skillless and then you can't play battle cards.
And
Makes no sense.
Obviously, these help with the decks that need unisons to like awaken and stuff too. So if you somehow miss them, you can just play these. They count.
Thanks that they can't attack, man. That's tough. And decks that would use a unison, that's a tough thing to give up.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you still play them in there because they don't take up a spot in the main deck.
Get out of jail free, like I need to awaken now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like red,
Wish they were
probably uses that.
like
card.
Gamma. You really did in Gamma.
untapping one. Yeah, pretty good. It's pretty good.
Well, you need a two-toss unison, right? So you used to miss the A17-18 and not awaken.
Good thing that shit's dead. There's a Vegeta. What's Vegito needs one too, or do you just no? Something has to die, and then it needs to be a unison that swings to give triple strikes. So
Yeah, it's not happening.
yeah, that's nothing.
Probably misses red U7 Gohan. It's probably the best one. Play that kid Q, not bad.
No, it's good. I like it.
All right. Well, we will now move on to the TPs. So, a lot of old supports or new support for old decks, and obviously support for the decks in the set. Both Goku and Piccolo got evolve cards, and they both seem really, really good. The Goku is just a free evolve, which will obviously trigger your leader effect since he's 30k also. And then he also KOs a card, so it's 2 cards or 2 instances of removal for free. And comboing a skill list from the deck. It's an effect we've never seen before, I don't think, so it's pretty nice there also. There's Frieza Prison supports. There's a Great Priest support, which is very good. There's a lot of cool stuff. And is there any standout cards for you guys that you want to mention?
The Rebello.
Yeah, that card's
There's a lot.
crazy. That card's fucking nuts.
Hopefully, if there's a black deck, they'll be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah,
There's more than a few.
does so much just for 1 energy. It's crazy.
The fact that it comes out of nowhere is just so annoying. Isn't there a Crazy Trunks coming in a champ pack as well that does something
Yes.
similar? Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, that would probably be good in Super Saiyan God Trunks. It's probably a good card in there.
For sure. There's that. What's the other TP? There's another one that was pretty nice. Look at them. That Gogeta's awful. I don't even know why they made that. The blue one?
Yeah, it's for the.
It's for PyCon? Is it for PyCon or for 5 Gogeta? Gogeta 5?
No, it's for Miracle Strike because it.
Yeah,
the
Miracle
leader makes them all
Strike.
skillless, so the idea is you make them all skillless and then you play that and kill a skillless card, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah, that sucks.
The Gohan
The
for Rainbow U7
Vegeta.
is very, very good.
Those are very strong effects. It's a shame the leader is total ass.
But they made a very, very good card, so.
Yeah. If you're like in a ramp blue deck, it's pretty good too.
If you're playing the Alliance guy, then that Shenron's pretty good to Alliance off of.
Yeah, and also to unmill yourself so that you don't lose to Cooler. It's pretty nice.
That's neat.
Just in 1 card to get out of that matchup for free. There's another one. Belmod's cool. Wish it cost 1 less, or you know,
Yeah.
1 less. Take off a skill on it, or make it better. I don't know. You either got to stat it up or take off a skill and make it cost 1 less. It's almost cool. Almost cool.
Yeah.
Otherwise, TPs are just they're okay. There's a couple archetype things I think you need you need the Zangia. One sec. On the phone.
Yeah, you probably need the new Evolve Kid Goku too for that deck since it's free.
Yeah, that's a good card.
Yeah, the Zangia probably need the Robelu. If you play black, you probably need that card. I can't tell if that Candy Vegito is good for Boo. The fact that you need a Z.
It is,
The fact that you need
but
a
you need
leader,
Z lead.
yeah, it kind of makes it. Yeah, but you can kill stuff on opponent's turns. That's neat. And then even just paying 3 for this go on's not too bad. Drawing 2 and killing something. And decks that and blue decks that untap, like Soul Striker or something. It's not bad for 3.
You definitely need you want to tap 4 though, so you can get the untap and the double strike.
Yeah, if you're not,
Full effect.
If you're not doing anything else, yeah, you can just pay the 1. I can't tell if this Dr. Mew is good. I don't really know what the general Riddle deck does, so I'm just gonna assume it's bad since someone's talking about it.
I'm also going to assume that.
I mean, the King Piccolo's good in the deck, right? It's also a free evolve.
Yeah, it's good. Beans leader, Beans itself, kind of cool.
So, yeah, those are TPs seem pretty decent. There's some definitely pickup cards to get, so go to your locals and get them. All right, that's I think is it for the set. That's the God Rares. Obviously look very, very nice. The Goku got the 7th anniversary signature thing on it, so to let you know it's the 7th anniversary of Masters. So hopefully it's not the last. But yeah, very, very cool. Gogeta's obviously the one to pick up. Everyone's gonna want that card. Very, very cool. But yeah, before we go, I guess we can talk about the set itself real quick. So after we reviewed the whole entire set, what do you guys? Is it like definitely a set to pick up? It's one of the best ones in a while. What do you guys think?
Yes.
Definitely neat. A lot of cool stuff.
Most interesting in a long time, yeah. It's not super generic. It's not like there's not a lot of throwaway decks either. There's like 2 bad ones. So I like it. I appreciate it exists.
Get a case. Yeah, if you're gonna get a case, this is gonna be the case to do so because I know a lot of people aren't buying boxes of cases anymore. So if there's ever time to do it, it'd be this one.
No foil commons, uncommons is a big turnoff.
That's still confirmed. That sucks.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, that's ass.
Yeah, but a set with 2
They're
God
looking
Rares
nice
is probably the
later.
set. That's probably the set you want to buy a case of if you're going for max rarity stuff, I guess.
Campaign rares too, so extra shiny stuff in the box that's guaranteed.
Yeah. So
Yeah, cool shit.
most of the decks are pretty good. Seem pretty promising. A lot of good stable cards that you want to pick up too. So set I think is a W. I think we'll see how it affects the meta. I guess the ban list we'll see how the ban list affects it too because it's not out as of this recording yet. Speaking of the ban lists, I guess we'll do a little predictions before we go. I don't think we have too much to talk about because we don't expect like a huge ban list. But if there's anything you guys want to see hits, what do you think? What do you wish to be hits on this ban
Want
list?
to pitch to each of us?
Oh yeah, I'll just go through one by one. Yeah, so we'll go with you first, Bobby. So what would you like to see hit on the ban list?
Nothing too drastic, I don't think. I think the format's been really diverse, really good. The only play that really offends me in the entire format is the Purunga into Sitch drop in U7 with Annihilation or without it. Whatever. Just the fact that you just tap out your opponent and then swing a million times and they can't answer. That feels bad, and it feels like that'll continue to win events unless it's addressed. So I don't know how they address it, whatever they do, but I think that needs to be addressed. Other than that, I think the format is good. You can, if they want to preemptively hit stuff, they can do that, or they can let it ride. It seems like lately they've just been kind of letting stuff ride and finding out the hard way. So nothing too much.
I'm sure they'll hit something to make sure you get the new stuff that's coming out.
Yeah.
What would you like to see hit, Sam?
I would like to see some green get hit. It's been stacking up for the last couple of sets now, so and especially with the Gogeta stuff coming out now, with the Gogeta successor coming out now. I don't know, maybe Dormant or I don't know, a big card, maybe a limit, a big card or something like that. I think the big 8-drop go on would be a nice limit 1 or something like that. But I think green's gonna get kind of overpowered here in a second with all its negates and floodgates and whatnot, and just big power cards. So I think something definitely in green should get hit.
All right. Oh, Carl, what about you?
I don't know. I mean, I like the format pretty much. Maybe just Bulma, Bunny Girl, and something with U7. Make it stack more cards to restand or something. I don't know. Something with the yellow Menace and Bulma. Other than that, I like everything.
I can also see him hitting Annihilation too in that deck.
Yep, that could be the answer.
That could be the answer too.
All right. What do you think, Angel?
Yeah, just Bunny Girl and something from U7 so that people play other yellow decks. That Goku by itself is better than most yellow decks entirely. The 6 cost. So I mean, just that one card is so stupid. I don't know what they were thinking when they printed that. So
That whole
just
set.
yeah, that whole deck was retarded. I mean, we know
not
it got like 5
4.
cards.
Yeah.
So thanks U7 for ruining yellow, but that's all cool. Yeah, just that. Otherwise, yeah, it's been pretty nice. Pretty nice set.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that not much has to be hit. Probably what you said, Bunny Girl, is probably like the most deserving to go. So I think with Kid Ku, and then also obviously Future Gohan's been abusing it already. So I think just hitting that card would inherently make both of those decks a little bit weaker than they probably should be. So getting rid of that card is probably fine. Yeah, something in U7, probably errating the 6-drop or limiting it to 1, even doing something to it, because it's still been in the meta too much. But yeah, it's been pretty diverse, so I don't expect the ban list to be too big. I don't think they're going to hit any like leaders or anything. So really, I think it should be a pretty good format. I mean, none of these decks coming out is going to be too overpowered or anything. Maybe the 8-drop successor Gogeta will change that. But we'll see with the green decks and yellow decks and everything. But yeah, so that is going to be the end of this episode of the Turtle Club podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed our review of the Legends of the Dragon Balls. Let us know in the comments what you guys think of the set, what you guys think is going to get banned. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Toodles.
See you.